Now at 11, a story you'll only see right here on NBC3. A dog left for dead in Cuyahoga County, continuing her recovery. We'll tell you what veterinarians are saying tonight about what might happen to her leg.
The tragic death of Jenny Lynn Watson is raising awareness about abusive relationships. I'm Alex Dunbar. That story's coming up.
Plus, new details tonight in a fatal crash in Moravia as an SUV collides with a school bus. NBC3 News at 11 starts right now.
From CNY Central, this is NBC3 News at 11. Now in enhanced widescreen.
Good evening, I'm Matt Mulcahy.
I'm Jackie Robinson. Tonight, people are reacting this evening to the sentencing in the death of Jenny Lynn Watson of Liverpool.
This morning, Stephen Piper was sentenced to 23 years to life in prison. Watson's parents and sister spoke before Judge Anthony Alloy's court. Her mother called Piper the scariest of killers, saying they could have never imagined Piper would have killed Jenny Lynn. Piper apologized, saying he takes full responsibility for his actions, but the family's not exactly buying that.
Jenny Lynn Watson was home in Liverpool for Thanksgiving week when she went missing. Her body turned up 8 days later in Clay Central Park. She was studying to become a dancer at Mercyhurst College in Erie, Pennsylvania. In new information tonight, Alex Dunbar tells us how the Watson murder case is helping other women who may see warning signs in their relationship.
It was an emotional morning in court where Jenny Lynn Watson's family had a chance to face her killer and tell him how hard it was and would be to live without her. After Stephen Piper was led away, Jenny Lynn's mother said she hoped Jenny Lynn's story would help other women dealing with abusive relationships.
We've heard of many people breaking up with people. It has touched not only this particular situation, but it has made people rethink everything, rethink what's normal and what's right. And
the executive director of Vera House, a shelter for anyone dealing with an abusive relationship, says Jenny Lynn's story showed many people just how quickly controlling and possessive behavior could escalate to violence.
After Jenny Lynn's tragic death, we had a flood of calls on our 24-hour hotline, people asking for support, recognizing that they may be in situations that were unsafe, trying to do some safety planning.
And Jenny Lynn's mother encouraged anyone in an abusive relationship to reach out and look for help and support.
Tragically, Jenny Lynn lost her life, but our community was blessed by the opportunity to maybe begin to recognize some signs and symptoms for people earlier in their relationships.
And if anyone has concerns about a relationship they are in, Vera House has a 24-hour anonymous hotline they can call just to talk about options they may have to help with that relationship.
So are there other agencies that have been affected like Vera House?
Well, absolutely. And one of the things that especially Vera House said they'd like to work on is they would actually like to talk to people who may feel they have possessive or controlling tendencies in relationships to try and improve some of the relationships from that end. You know, trying to improve both people's roles in a healthy relationship.
It's also worth noting that the Watson family said they were very proud of the way their daughter Jenny Lynn Watson handled this relationship. They didn't question her judgment at all.
Absolutely.
All the burdens on Stephen Piper here.
Absolutely. They said she'd made good choices and that her sister also made very good choices. You know, a very tough situation.
Terrible outcome. Thank you, Alex. Now, the Watson case was deeply personal for members of several Central New York police agencies who worked on it. The entire team was led by Onondaga County Undersheriff Warren Darby during that week, who says his own personal tragedy gave him a greater connection to the case.
And when we finally found the body, it was emotional. I come from a background of having lost a daughter 23 years previous to a disease, not to a crime. But a father losing their firstborn daughter just revisited the emotions that I had in my family.
Many of you are speaking out about today's sentencing of Stephen Piper. One viewer writes, there should be no 23 years. It should be life. What would Jenny Lynn Watson want to be done? On Facebook, a viewer commented on the family, speaking publicly for the first time, saying, what a beautiful family. I admire the grace and dignity, the strength and faith of each of them. Do you agree with the sentence for Stephen Piper? Let us know what you think. Visit CNYCentral.com and look for the poll along the right side of the home page.
Well, a live look outside over Syracuse tonight. The temperature has cooled right off after that afternoon sunshine that felt so good, even if maybe it was a little bit of a false feeling of warmer weather. Wayne Mahar's out on the weather deck tonight with what's ahead for the next couple of hours. Wayne.
Hey there, Matt. Well, temperatures have cooled down this evening, that's for sure, but not as cold as they were last night. And we got a few high clouds starting to work in right now. That's the very beginnings of that next storm system that we've been talking about. Here's a look at live triple Doppler radar brought to you by USA DataNet, and we are all high and dry. It's nice and quiet across the region. Our fastcast for tomorrow: sunshine will fade, clouds will increase and thicken up gradually during the morning and midday hours, and our first light snow showers could arrive later on in the day, like probably after 4 or 5 o'clock, and a high temperature tomorrow afternoon at 42 degrees. We do have a storm on the way. There are some additional flooding concerns, and some areas may pick up several inches of heavy wet snow. I'll be back in a few minutes and I'll sort it all out for you.
Thanks, Wayne. New at 11, Cayuga County sheriffs are investigating a deadly car accident involving a school bus in the town of Moravia. Sheriffs say shortly before 12:30 this afternoon, a Saturn SUV was traveling south on State Route 38. Investigators say 44-year-old Thomas Bolak of Auburn was behind the wheel of the SUV when it crossed into the path of an oncoming first student school bus. Bolak was pronounced dead at the scene. The bus driver was not hurt. Happening now, voters in 2 central New York school districts say yes to improvement projects. In Port Byron, they approved a $5.6 million plan to make upgrades to windows, pavement, and the heating systems. The vote was 202 yes, 181 no. In Stockbridge Valley, buying new school buses was on the ballot. Voters there turned out to pass the plan to buy 2 new ones for about $212,000. The final vote was 71 yes to 18 no. The district hopes to add to its fleet sometime next year.
Tomorrow, the Syracuse City School District will meet to discuss what's next for its budget. In February, Superintendent Dan Loengard called for a pay freeze for district employees. He also proposed layoffs to teachers and staff. It's all part of finding a way to close a $60 million budget gap. More than 500 teachers, staff, and administrators could lose their jobs. Loengard says he hopes a retirement incentive will limit the number of job cuts. Tomorrow's meeting starts at 5:30 at district offices on Harrison Street. Superintendent Loengard is an exclusive guest of Today in Central New York. First thing tomorrow morning, he'll discuss where the district stands in its budget process, as well as the status of the search for the next superintendent. That all starts tomorrow morning at 5 on Today in Central New York, right here on NBC3. Tomorrow, we can also find out who's replacing Dan Loengard as the next Syracuse superintendent. Both Dr. Bernard Taylor Jr. and Sharon Contreras visited Corcoran High School last week, among other stops in Syracuse. They met with parents at Corcoran and students to hear what they want in a leader. Say Yes to Education and Cascade Consulting provided both candidates to the school board for consideration. We called the school board today to try to find out more about the process, but our calls were not returned. We have new information tonight on Angel, the abandoned black lab who was dumped on the side of a country road in Cayuga County. Donations for Angel's care have now topped $1,700. Angel is spending the night at Cornell's Veterinary Hospital in Ithaca. Veterinary staff helped to bring her inside first thing this morning. The dog came with Diane Matthews, the animal control officer in Conquest, who has cared for Angel since a neighbor discovered the dog Saturday morning. Tonight, Angel has done pretty well through testing, which included a biopsy of a tumor near her neck. Surgeons say they'll likely have to amputate Angel's leg. The Shamrock Animal Fund is assisting with the case and accepting donations at shamrockanimalfund.com.
As gas prices continue to rise, Central New Yorkers are looking for ways to help ease the pain at the pump. It comes as the Department of Energy says gas prices will average $3.70 this spring and summer. In Syracuse, the price of a gallon of gas is $3.65. That's an increase of 2 cents from yesterday and 15 cents from last week. Today, we spoke with AAA, who gave us a number of tips on how you can keep more money in your pocket. First, slowing down can help you save gas. In most cars, driving above 60 miles per hour uses more gas. AAA says every 5 miles per hour you do over 60 is comparable to paying an additional 20 cents per gallon for gas. Drivers should also avoid quick starts or sudden stops and keep up with routine maintenance. Today, we spoke with drivers who are taking a different approach now that prices are going up.
At home, you got to consolidate trips, and here at work, the same thing. You want to go to, if you go to Utica, you want to set up as many stops as you can between here and Utica, and you know, you just can't go all over these days. You got to consolidate and do what you can to stretch every mile.
It's ridiculous. Every week it seems like it keeps going up, There ain't really much we can do, but do a little complaining, but what you know to do. Take my time, not speeding and that.
And gas prices are also affecting those protecting you. Syracuse police are using more efficient oil and turning their cars off between shifts. Officers are also assigned a specific zone to patrol to cut back on extra driving.
And they're responding to the calls in that area. So if they're taking a direct route to the call, that's fuel savings for us.
Police say the small changes make a big difference because it means they don't have to cut back on services.
Well, some winter weather is moving into central New York. Wayne's latest complete forecast is just minutes away.
Plus, it was an emotional send-off today for some local troops. Our cameras were there as their families and complete strangers said goodbye.
Plus, we have late word tonight that a U.S. Marshal was shot in the line of duty and was killed. The shooting details are coming up.
When you're on Facebook, remember to connect with us by searching CNY Central. Tell us you like the page. That will keep you connected for all the latest NBC3 News updates.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Isaac Heating and Air Conditioning.
36 miles per gallon on the highway. iVTEC engine. The Honda Civic.
I love it.
Hey, right now you could really save big on one. Come on, I'll show you. All right. Give me a boost.
Yeah. Okay, over.
Hurry into Honda's Really Big Thing sales event. Get 0 down payment and 0 due at lease signing on a 2011 Civic.
It's your chance to live large. Play Mega Millions from the New York Lottery. Hey, you never know.
Breakfast for breakfast. Breakfast for lunch. Breakfast for dinner. With 3 new breakfast lovers dishes, who needs a break from breakfast? Denny's, America's Diner, is always open.
Our job is to make sure you have the most enjoyable, hassle-free experience getting FiOS.
When people call up to set up a FiOS appointment, we make it as easy as possible for them.
I loved that I didn't have to wait around for him, that it didn't interfere with my life at all.
He did the installation as though he was doing it in his own home. That put us at ease.
It's just a great feeling when you get done, because the customer has an experience now that they just didn't have before.
Now, sign up for the FiOS Triple Play. Just $99.99 a month for a year with no term contract required and get $100 back. FiOS, a network ahead.
Get updates on local news anytime at cnycentral.com.
Wow, it's a word you'll hear a lot when people see your new bathroom from Bathfitter. You'll also hear, I can't believe it, and I never thought, followed by more, wow, wow, and wow. You see, this ain't no Band-Aid, one-size-fits-all quick fix. With Bathfitter, you get the same high-end material used in spas, and they install everything, including all those gorgeous accessories you see in home decorating magazines. When you see your new bathroom, you'll say, wow, why didn't I do this sooner?
Bathfitter, it's a renovation without the renovating. 1-866-534-2284.
There's no force like the one that comes from joining forces. No strength like strength in numbers. The kind of numbers delivered by Ram 1500, a 390 horsepower Hemi V8, 20 MPG, a 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Strength in numbers. Now, during Ram Truck Month.
Get the 2011 Ram 1500 Bighorn 4x4 with a no extra charge Hemi V8 for $299 a month for well-qualified lessees.
Well, it's cold out there again tonight, but Wayne was just telling us minutes ago, not as bad as last night.
No, but it felt so much warmer with the sun out today. People running around, no coats.
It does help a lot. And I
Very
still can't get over the fact that we spring ahead with the clocks this weekend.
Yeah,
that just
how about
seems so wrong to me right now.
I know, but you know, we do. This is the weekend, Saturday night, Sunday morning. You want to get technical about it, 2 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. get up and spring ahead for an hour. But we head into daylight saving time, and we will be doing that with, well, still a very changeable weather pattern the rest of the week, and also some concerns for flooding, some concerns for several inches of heavy wet snow from another storm coming in. Let's start detailing everything for you. Here's a look at what's going on right now, live triple Doppler radar, brought to you by USA DataNet. We're high and dry. It's a nice quiet night across the region, and temperatures are generally easing their way on down through the 20s. The official numbers today at Hancock Airport: 39 for the high, 11 for the low. Sunshine certainly helping with that temperature today. The normal's 40 and 21, record 71 degrees in the year 2000, record low 6 below in 1984, and still in fourth place for the snowiest winter on record at 173.5 inches so far at Hancock Airport. Okay, then for the rest of the night, we do have a few high clouds overhead, so we'll just say averaging out partly cloudy, temperatures slowly on the way down, probably dropping down about 22 degrees by 5 a.m. So I've upped the temperature a couple of degrees since back at 5 and 6 o'clock, just because of the cloudiness thickening up slowly, and also we've now got a little southerly breeze starting to work on in. Okay, here's our futurecast. Nice and quiet overnight tonight, nice and quiet for tomorrow morning, but notice clouds increasing and thickening up, and by 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, now the first signs of a few snow showers starting to work on in, especially Syracuse south and westbound. The storm center is going to move up to our west and eventually north. We'll get into that milder south and southeasterly wind flow, so eventually we'll get any mixture changing over to periods of rain for most areas, but the north country will be the last to see a changeover. That's where you could see several inches of snow. Here's what I'm talking about. For Wednesday night on into Thursday, the immediate Syracuse, Central New York area here in the light blue, maybe a slushy coating to an inch. Up in the dark blue here, heading on up to the north, Watertown, heading on down towards just north of Rome into Pulaski Parish, maybe 1 to 3 inches of snow before eventually changing to rain. But up here, we're talking Lowville, maybe Old Forge, heading on up certainly into the Adirondacks. This area here in white could as much as 3 to 8 inches of heavy wet snow. Okay, then the forecast for the day tomorrow, we'll look for a slow increase in the cloudiness. The sunshine fades, 35 by 11 o'clock in the morning. Tomorrow afternoon, the clouds continue to thicken up. Maybe some snow showers or flurries towards the end of the day. High temperature about 3 and 4 in the afternoon at 42. Don't forget, too, parade weather this weekend on Saturday, the big St. Patrick's Day parade. A few snow showers and flurries, 38 degrees at noon, 40 degrees at 2 p.m. 7-day weather outlook. Thursday, the mixture goes to rain for most everybody, last to the north, 42. Snow showers and rain showers on Friday, 39. Saturday, couple of flurries, couple of sprinkles, 40 degrees. We set the clock back or ahead, spring ahead 1 hour Saturday night. Couple of flurries on Sunday, 39 degrees. And of course, don't forget, we've got me on Facebook now. Can you believe that? Go to cnycentral.com and become a friend on Facebook. And also Wayne on the web. Go to cnycentral.com for Wayne on the web. Got a story on there all about flooding. Again, we got a concern about that in a couple of days. That's the latest from the weather outside.
There's another twist in the battle over union rights in Wisconsin.
New tonight, learn what was uncovered that might have the governor thinking twice about cutting state worker rights.
The Central New York Business Minute is brought to you by St. Joseph's Hospital Health Center, a higher level of care.
Good evening, everyone. Headlining business news tonight. According to a new government report, the number of mass layoffs in New York fell 18% last year. The biggest improvement came in the manufacturing sector, as the number of mass layoff events fell from 206 to 113 in 2009. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics defines a mass layoff event as 50 or more initial claims for unemployment insurance benefits filed against an employer during a 5-week period. Chemung Financial has received state regulatory approval for its acquisition of Fort Orange Financial. Chemung's leaders say they pursued the acquisition to enter the capital region's attractive banking market. The transaction is valued at nearly $30 million. With your Business Minute, I'm Liz Ayers.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Verizon Fios, a network ahead.
Raymore and Flanagan makes it easy to furnish your home. shop. Plan a room. Apply for instant credit. Even get design advice.
Great job, honey.
What you wearing there, Tom?
Caroline, as you might imagine, this is the official team uniform of Team Huge during tournament time. And, of course, it's significant because on two levels.
Okay.
0 down, $289 a month.
And I'm guessing that's what you can get the 2011 Kia Optima for right now.
34 miles per gallon.
A 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty.
0 down, $289 a month. What is it?
That is huge.
A lot of window companies say they're factory direct when they're really selling someone else's window and paying someone else to install it. So if there's ever a problem, you get the runaround. But at Champion, we are the factory. We manufacture and install everything ourselves, so you always know what you're getting and who you're getting it from.
Right now, save 25% on Champion windows, siding, and doors, and 10% on a new Champion patio room.
When you compare and choose Champion, you win every time.
Get your local forecast anytime at cnycentral.com.
I thought if you had an older home, there was no way you could reduce your energy costs.
Boy, was I wrong.
We had our house performance tested by a contractor certified by the Building Performance Institute.
We found a host of problems that could be corrected.
They showed us what it would cost
And how much we'd save this year.
and for years to come. We've reduced our energy use 45 to 50%, and it's good for the environment. How can you beat that?
For more true stories of how New Yorkers are saving energy, log on to getenergysmart.org.
Hi, Fritz Gentile here from Comfort Windows, and we're ready to leap into Comfort Spring into Spring Sale.
Jump to it, homeowners. Act now and take 25% off Comfort insulated siding. You get the look and feel of real wood while saving money on your energy bills. Plus, pay no interest on your purchase for 1 full year during Comfort's Spring into Spring Sale.
Call Comfort now for a free and no estimate, or visit us at comfortwindows.com. Comfort, the name you know, the people you trust.
Welcome back to NBC3 News at 11. A bus carrying soldiers stopped in Auburn today with just enough time for family, friends, and even complete strangers to bid farewell. The soldiers are leaving this spring for a tour of duty in Iraq. One Korean War veteran can relate all too well with these courageous men and with what they are about to face.
I've seen more than I needed to see. As a military person, you know what they're going to be going through. So you want them to know that we'll be here for them, regardless of what happens.
Brown also says supporting troops is important, no matter how you feel about the war. The soldiers won't be heading overseas to Iraq just yet. They still have training to do in the U.S. Most of them will leave the States late in the spring.
Taking a look at stories making headlines across America now. New tonight, union workers in Wisconsin may not lose all of their collective bargaining rights after all. Emails released by Governor Scott Walker's office show state employees would keep certain rights under a proposed compromise. Some state Senate Democrats say Walker's offer doesn't go far enough. In St. Louis, doctors say a U.S. Marshal shot in the head while trying to arrest a man this morning has died. Officials say that 48-year-old John Perry died around 7 o'clock tonight from his wounds. Officials say a second marshal was shot in the ankle and underwent surgery this afternoon. This morning, marshals and police were trying to arrest Carlos Bowles on charges of assaulting an officer and drug possession when he opened fire. He was killed in the shootout. Officials say Bowles had a criminal history dating back to 1993.
More to come on NBC3 News at 11.
First, here's Brian Mueller with a look at what's next in sports. Brian.
Well, guys, it was back to work for the SU football team today. The start of spring practice. We'll hear from Coach Marone and the players about how it feels to be back on the gridiron. That's next in sports.
Hey, remember, you can follow us on Twitter by searching CNY Central when you're on Twitter, or in your browser, type twitter.com/CNY Central.
Ponderosa presents
one heck of a showdown.
It's Ponderosa Steak versus Shrimp Showdown. Choose a big juicy steak or mouth-watering shrimp.
Starting at just $6.99, or get a steak and shrimp combo
at a great price too.
It's all good.
Ponderosa.
It's comparable to the Toyota.
Why do so many car companies compare themselves to Toyota? Maybe it's because Toyota is the #1 choice among consumers, or because of vehicles like RAV4, named a best overall value of the year. Get a 2011 RAV4 with 0% APR financing for 60 months or a $199 a month lease. Or lease a 2011 Highlander for just $279 a month. We're #1 for a reason. Come see for yourself. Hurry in for the best selection.
When things work together, things work better. That's the idea behind Signature Home from Time Warner Cable.
It's a suite of their most premier products that allow my TVs,
computers, gaming devices,
home and mobile phones
to work together. Giving
me
complete control over what I watch, when I watch it, and where.
Now I can record an amazing
150 hours of HD TV.
And 4 HD shows at once. 4 at once. And I can watch them throughout
my
house. I can program my DVR whether I'm
around town or around the country. And my whole family can upload,
download,
and surf. All at the same time.
In super fast time.
Time Warner Cable set it up
exactly how
I wanted it. And if I have any questions, I call my Signature service team.
For special pricing that makes Signature Home an incredible value, call or go online now.
You see, when things work together,
life gets easier.
Get Signature Home.
Join me on the Breakfast Club weekday mornings. Log on to cnycentral.com and join. We'll have great giveaways, discounts, and exciting offers.
This isn't New York City or the Windy City, and we're certainly no one's Emerald City. We're the Motor City, and this is what we do.
Now, lease the 2011 Chrysler 200 Touring for just $199 a month for well-qualified lessees.
Ponderosa presents
one heck of a showdown.
It's Ponderosa Steak versus Shrimp Showdown. Choose a big juicy steak or mouth-watering shrimp.
Starting at just $6.99. Or get a steak and shrimp combo
At a great price, too.
It's all good.
Ponderosa.
Well, while many of us are still reliving that thrilling Pinstripe Bowl victory over Kansas State last December, for the Orange football team, it was back to work today, the first spring practice of the season. And you know the players are hungry to continue that momentum they built last season. The Orange opened practice in Manley Fieldhouse today. Coach Doug Marrone released the first depth chart of the year. Some of the highlights include Coach Mack's grandson and CBA grad Mackie McPherson being listed as the starting center. Dan Vaughn and Bryce Hawks now occupy the spots left by linebackers Doug Hogue and Jarrell Smith, and Antoine Bailey is your new starting tailback with the departure of DeLon Carter. Coach Marrone and the guys excited to be back and hungrier than ever.
When you win, it feels good, and I think that it puts a little bit, you get hungry. And I think for us as coaches, it's important for us to make sure that the players understand, how hard it is to win, how hard you have to work, to have that ability to win on Saturday. So
it's kind of tough getting back in the swing of things, going from the weight room and just trying to get it onto the field. But by next week or the week after that, I think we'll be back in the mix of everything.
It feels good, The last time I put that helmet on, we were walking off of the Yankee Stadium. We're Pinstripe Bowl champions, so it feels good to just have our helmet back on and be back at it.
Nice memories. Well, as football practice is just beginning, the Big East basketball season is winding down, but as always, the best is reserved for last. The Big East tournament tipped off today in Madison Square Garden, and it's a little clear who the Orange will play on Thursday. Rutgers took down Seton Hall in overtime in this one, despite the efforts of Jeremy Hazel. That means the Orange will take on the winner of Rutgers and St. John's, that game being played tomorrow. And in other games today, UConn takes care of DePaul 97-71. Here's the real shocker. 9-22 South Florida beats 21-10 Villanova. Not good for the Wildcats' tournament chances. And in the late game, Marquette leads the Friars 58-47 midway through the second half. Moving to high school hoops now, the Syracuse Academy of Science taking on the Syracuse Institute of Technology Central for the Class C championship. Third quarter, Adams down 5 when Da'Key McClain hits from deep, cuts the lead down to 2. Tech, though, holding strong. They get the steal, and Jacine Ingram finishes down low to get the lead back for Tech, but the Adams would pull away down the stretch, and it's McLean again taking the nearly full court pass, the acrobatic finish, and one. And in just their 5th year of existence, SAS wins a sectional championship. 83-67 was the final. To the girls' Class C title game, a great finish between Fabius Pompey and Watertown IHC. FP down 3 with under 40 seconds to go. Stevie Ray, what do you say? 3-ball ties it, and we are headed to overtime. In the extra session, Watertown's Christine Wright shows no fear, going hard to the hoop, ties the game again, and we are going to a second overtime. And finally, Fabius Pompey able to pull away. Kirsten Dodge lays it in. FP wins a thriller, 54-49. And some semi-shocking news out of the NFL today. ESPN is reporting that former Giants running back Tiki Barber is attempting a comeback. He hasn't played since '06. They say Barber's agent has confirmed that the soon-to-be 36-year-old has filed papers to come out of retirement. Barber told FoxSports.com that after seeing his twin brother Rondé still playing in the NFL, he thought he could do it as well. We'll see how that turns out. And in equally exciting news, Jose Canseco will be coming to Syracuse. The Juiced author and former American League MVP will be signing autographs at the Chiefs game against the Gwinnett Braves on August 19th, also appearing on NBC's The Apprentice. So also something to look forward to.
Fair to say.
You got Tiki coming back, Jose coming to sign autographs.
This is a big night in sports.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you, Brian.
Still ahead from NBC3 News at 11, one last look at the weather and your bus stop forecast in just a couple of minutes.
LeBrun Nissan has just opened our brand new dealership on Route 5 in Auburn. Check us out on the web at LeBrunNissan.com. LeBrun Nissan just does it better.
The counter. In most homes, it gets all the action. Bring it. Getting it clean again is easy with Bounty. In this lab test, 1 sheet of Bounty leaves the surface cleaner than 3 sheets of the bargain brand. Why use more when you can use less? Super durable, super absorbent, super clean. Bounty, the 1-sheet clean picker-upper.
This weekend on American Freight, truckload after truckload of world-famous mattress sets. Stewart & Hamilton, Nordic Rest, Simmons Beauty Rest, Dr. Marvin's Orthopedic Sleep Products. Twin size from only $39 each piece. Full size from only $49 each piece. Queen or king size from only $69 each piece. Free layaway till tax refund or same-day delivery. That's this weekend only. At American Freight, 2410 Erie Boulevard East, 445-0700.
Time now to check in with Wayne for one last look at the weather. Wayne.
Okay then, Jack, here it is. Bus stop weather for the kids tomorrow morning. It's not going to be quite as cold as it was this morning. Partly cloudy, partly sunny type skies. And the temperatures generally 17 to 27. Wind chill in the teens. Clouds thickening up during the day tomorrow. Maybe some late day snow showers developing. 42. A little bit of a wintry mixture tomorrow night. Gradually changing to rain. Everybody gets into rain at some point on Thursday. The last to do that up in the North Country. 42. Snow and rain showers on Friday at 39. Saturday, a few snow showers and flurries, and we'll spring ahead 1 hour with the clock to daylight saving time Saturday night. Back inside.
Thank you, Wayne. So a few challenges yet to come in the weather this week.
Daylight savings.
I can't believe it.
Tough for you.
I've got to find a way to change that. That's NBC3 News at 11 tonight. Thanks for joining us. I'm Matt Mulcahy.
I'm Jackie Robinson. Good night, Central New York.
You got to fix that problem. Spring it.